guys, before I get started, I just really want to say thank you for 100 subscribers. I cannot believe there are 100 human beings out there who want to listen to me talk about film, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Today we're talking about movies, specifically movies directed by women. During this pandemic, I have been making such an effort trying to consume more female-created art, because that is the type of energy that I need in my life right now. And I thought, hey, this is the perfect time to share some of my favorite female-directed films, so let's just get started. I'm not gonna spend that much time on the first film on my list because everyone and their mother has already talked about it, but Greta Gerwig's Little Women captured my heart from the very first second.
This is Meg, Amy, Beth, and Jen.
I hadn't read the book, so I had no idea what to expect. And y'all were just fine letting us non-bookgoers go in there, knowing we were about to be emotionally wrecked. And no one said anything. No one said anything. What the heck? But I loved it. I loved Saoirse and Florence's acting. They were both incredible. Well, actually, the entire cast was incredible.
Woman be the best painter in the world.
That's what you want too, isn't it, Joe? To be a famous writer?
Yes, but it sounds so crass when she says it.
I absolutely love Gerwig's narrative decision to set the past against the current time. I love how she played with nostalgia to emphasize the pains of growing up. And I just love the familial relationship at the heart of the story. It is such a well done movie, and I know it's gonna be on my favorites list probably for a very, very long time. This next one, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Jess, this movie is old as heck. Why the heck is this on your list? But hear me out. There is something about Manny and Lo that I absolutely love and will probably cherish forever. Honestly,
while I cannot condone this kidnapping, I do think you're a very fine young lady.
Really? Thanks.
Lisa Kruger's script is subtly funny and heartbreaking but moving at the same time, and it's such a good example of the found family trope.
You don't have a family, do you, Elaine?
And I say trope, but honestly, this film is far from predictable. The twists are all unexpected, but so welcome when I first watched it. But I genuinely enjoy the dialogue, the character interactions, and the plot. It's a really well-crafted, tight story, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who enjoys strong female characters, sister relationships, or kidnapping escapades, because it is just a fun time. Also, Scarlett Johansson as a little kid just steals every scene she's in. This next one is another older film, and it's probably less relatable to general audiences than Manny and Lo, but I've still got a soft spot for it in my heart. Ida Lupino's The Trouble with Angels is a moving story of a girl finding her own family and a new way of life set apart from the expectations society has for her at the time, and it features hijinks at a boarding school, which you all know I'm a sucker for. Granted, a lot of the humor in this film stems from the nun's annoyance at the girls' pranks, but I love it. I think if you've grown up around religious people or went to a school with really strict rules, you would probably enjoy this film. And if you don't mind slightly outdated humor, I'd say give this movie a chance because it's really cute. I decided to watch this film originally purely because Taylor Swift said it was the inspiration behind her song Death by a Thousand Cuts, but then I ended up genuinely enjoying this film. Someone Great is a breakup movie that's also about growing up, which I guess is a theme so far in basically all of these movies, but this time for a more millennial age group.
I am deeply obsessed with us right now.
It's a beautiful addition to the one night in New York City genre, if that counts as a genre, and it's an even more beautiful addition to the group of films centered on strong female relationships. This is a gorgeously shot film, I'm not even kidding, it's so beautiful. I love the color palette, I love the script, I love the dialogue, I love the characters. I love basically every decision Jennifer Robinson made when creating this film, and I love how perfectly it captures the pain of leaving an old you behind to become someone new. It's great. I recommend this movie to literally anyone. This next one is on the list purely because I haven't yet watched Emma, which I know I can technically rent it online, but I also know I want to buy it because Emma is my favorite Jane Austen novel, and I want to own this movie, so I genuinely just cannot stomach paying $20 to rent it and then $20 to then own it. It's just, it's so sad. And so I am waiting. And in this waiting period, I am watching Clueless because it is based off the same book, which you all probably know. And we all also know that Clueless is a classic. So everyone already knows everything there is to say about it, but I really love it. Amy Heckerling did an amazing job at adapting an 1815 novel and making it into a new story in a modern AU type of setting that still captures the character growth from the original Emma and makes it fun for a new age. Speaking of adaptations, Deborah Granick's Leave No Trace. Speaking of adaptations, Deborah Granick's Leave...
They're calling you.
That was a bit terrifying, to be honest. I don't know, they didn't say their name. They just said, I'm calling you. Okay? I'm calling you from beyond the grave. Are they still on the line? It didn't sound like they hung up. Okay, well, we're gonna continue. Speaking of adaptations, Deborah Granick's Leave No Trace is also really good. It's a much quieter, low-key film than Clueless, but its power lies in that subtlety.
Can you tell me where you live? In the park?
It's such a moving and powerful story of PTSD and the struggles that come with it, especially the effect on families.
Same thing that's wrong with you isn't wrong with me.
And it's a really great portrayal of what it means to grow up on the fringes of a society you don't want to be part of. It's also a heartbreaking family story. And Thomas and Mackenzie, yes, the same Thomas and Mackenzie at the heart of Jojo Rabbit, brings so much humanity to this small family. She portrays a daughter struggling to come into her own in such a strong way. And I definitely recommend this film to anyone who likes her acting, likes father-daughter relationships, although warning, you will probably cry, and anyone who might like explorations of mental health or society. This next film is another coming of age, albeit a more traditional one than Leave No Trace.
This is my daughter, Willa Dean.
It's Netflix's and Anne Fletcher's Dumplin', which I feel like most people have probably heard of by now, but I was really moved when watching it, and I love the way they handled basically every character's arc. And I also loved how, for a movie about a beauty pageant, none of the antagonistic forces came because there was a mean girl in the midst. None of the girls were catty. It was all about each character growing to become the best version of themselves, and it's so moving and fulfilling to see every version of self-love blossoming on the screen. It's such a good film, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who loves coming-of-age stories, body-positive narratives, or just genuinely sweet films that care about the characters that they're trying to portray. I feel like I've seen terrible reviews of this next one, but look, I genuinely loved Brie Larson's Unicorn Store.
Behold, we sell what you need.
It's such a beautiful film about staying true to the parts of you that make you stand out, parts of you that make you weird, and a reminder to keep walking the path you need to walk. Not the path your parents want you to walk, not the path society is trying to tell you to walk, but the path that's good for you. Things that make you happy, the things that make you feel special. Follow those. Let yourself be happy to be yourself in a world that wants you to conform. There's such a special spot in my heart for this film. Not only does Brie Larson perform beautifully, but her directorial decisions are great too. And this is another gorgeously shot, beautiful, aesthetic film. I also really gotta give a shout out to the wardrobe department because I feel like they were killing it on every single outfit. Honestly, I get why people don't like this film, but I think it is definitely worth the watch, especially if you feel like society is telling you to be one thing and you feel like being another. My last film is actually the newest one on this list. It just came out this year, but Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always is already one of my favorite films of 2020. Eliza Hittman's film is an incredibly strong, important, and heartbreaking story about a girl who travels to New York City to get an abortion because her state doesn't legally allow her to get one. It's slow, sure, but it's one of the few films where I genuinely don't mind the pacing because Hitman uses every second to expertly build the tension to showcase just how anxiety-inducing it can be to exist as a woman in this world. I love the shots she chose to include, and I love how so much of this story can be told in the silent moments of the film. This is raw and authentic, and it doesn't hold anything back, but it's also respectful to the two main characters, and I really, really think that this is a movie that everyone needs to see. But that's it for my list right now. If you don't see your favorite film on this list, there is a big chance I haven't seen it yet. Like, I haven't seen Lady Bird, I haven't yet seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and those are two films that I really do want to see, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But please, please, please share your favorite female-directed films in the comment box down below. Let's spread our love for our favorite female directors and the films they create. Also, let me know your thoughts on any of the movies on this list. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more movie and fandom-related content. Again, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I genuinely cannot believe it, but thank you to each and every one of you who have already hit that subscribe button. You guys are awesome. I am so excited for this film community that we're building, and I can't wait to just talk and watch more movies with you guys. And I hope you guys are excited about it too. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
Most grown-up thing you can do is fail at things you really care about.
It's a personal choice every woman has got to make for themselves.
Figure out who you are and do it on purpose.
Some natures too lofty.